This is the Sakura Kakushi. It is a new Grand Seiko release, or a relatively recent release, that has a beautiful pink dial, a texturized dial that is meant to invoke the uncommon occurrence of snow resting on blooming cherry blossoms. This is a photo from Grand Seiko's website depicting this phenomenon. And I think that watch collectors, they are split about these origin inspiration stories, the design inspiration stories. Many people think that Grand Seiko just makes incredible dials, beautiful dials. And then after the fact, the marketing department comes up with a regionalistic or an environmental tie-in like Suwa, Shirojiri, Mount Iwate, Sakura, snowflakes, bamboo, peacock feathers. The list goes on. But I also understand that many people in Japan absolutely love nature and they love passionate expression in art. It's very individualistic. And then Grand Seiko, I think about this brand, they certainly are extremely impressive mechanical expressions of art. So to some collectors, I think they think there is nothing silly about these descriptions. It's just the way that they celebrate ideas in art. And maybe that's the case. Maybe Grand Seiko sends their designers out into the Nagano or Iwate prefectures, and they go with a camera at various times of the year, and they have freedom to find natural inspiration for future watch ideas. If that's the case, how cool is that? And I don't know of any other brand that would do it. Nevertheless, regardless of whether they do that or not, many of my viewers, and I include myself in this grouping, we just love, we enjoy, we appreciate Grand Seiko, and sometimes we laugh at the grandiloquent design descriptions. And this is the description for this SBGH341. Quote, "This rare coexistence of cherry blossoms and snow can be found at the beginning of spring in the beautiful landscape of the Tohoku region, which includes Iwate Prefecture. This area is home to the Grand Seiko Studio, Shizuku-ishi, where Grand Seiko mechanical watches are made." Close quote. Now, thank you to Exquisite Timepieces for sending this beauty in for a review. Exquisite is my recommended family-owned AD. They carry over 60 brands. They have everything from Seiko Sports to Grand Seiko to Breguet, Glasuta Original, Hublot, Parmigiani Fleurier. If you're looking into almost any watch, or perhaps you just want to trade in on a new piece, reach out. I'll leave links in the description. Now let's take a close look at this subtle, stunning SBGH341 from the Heritage Collection. And first off, the dial is more muted and desaturated in person or in the metal. Grand Seiko's website makes it look like it's unmistakably pink, but in person, it is more subdued. And perhaps it's actually how cherry blossoms really look when they are obscured by snow. The dial has an irregular frosted texture or pattern to it, and we've seen this texture before from Grand Seiko, though it will be a little different from the frosty look of the Shunbun, which has a larger, more curved, irregular pattern to it. As always, the dial details are immaculate. The applied markers are tall, they're chamfered, they're polished, they look so good. The Dauphine hands are likewise polished and so sharp that you swear that you could shave with them. The silver date wheel is framed, the logo is black polished, it is applied, all of the printing is clean, and everything can be appreciated under a proud sapphire crystal that has inner applied anti-reflective coatings. Now, this crystal rises out of a bezel-less historic design, and this case is called the 62GS case, and this first appeared in Grand Seiko's product line back in 1967, and it was this case design that they chose to place their first automatic winding caliber in. The case is very well finished. The Soratsu polishing is noticeable. In fact, I would say it's dominant On the top side of the watch, as you're looking down at the dial and you see the case edges and the lugs angling down, I think, again, it's a very beautiful case. It's very eye-catching, light-catching, and I do think that it wears comfortably, maybe just a touch larger than the 38mm case dimension would suggest. The crystal height brings the total height to 12.9 millimeters, and that is a touch taller than many of us would prefer, but certainly not a deal breaker for most. I think this does wear well, and a lot of the height is going to be the crystal. Now, inside this 62GS case is a true high beat movement called the 9S85. And this fittingly is an automatic winding caliber, just like the ones that were chosen for the first 62GS cases in 1967. This 9S has 37 joules. It has a 5 hertz beat rate, meaning that this seconds hand moves 10 times in between each second, or 36,000 times every hour. So it has a noticeably smoother sweep than a traditional 3 or 4 hertz movement, but it is not continuously smooth like a spring drive caliber is. The movement is finished very nicely, and there is a perceptible rainbow-like effect to the component striping. I think that is so beautiful. This is regulated in 6 different positions. It's regulated in multiple temperatures, and the stated accuracy variance is -3 to +5 seconds per day, or in other words, just inside or tighter than COSC standards of accuracy, which are -4 to +6 seconds per day. Now, this watch is made from titanium, so it is very light. And this is noticeable when you're wearing the watch. You can barely feel it on the wrist. And I know some collectors really love that. And some don't. Some prefer the weight of stainless steel or precious metal. The bracelet is the only part of this watch that I think takes regular criticism. And it's not the finishing, it's not the 5-link look, it's not the logo in the clasp. It is the lack of clasp adjustability, and then the fact that this has a little more flex and give, a little bit more lateral play when you compare it to Swiss or German-made bracelets from competing watches at similar prices. And the number might not be high, but there are a few collectors that I know who are waiting for a better feeling bracelet and clasp before diving into the wonderful world of Grand Seiko. Let me know in the comments where you stand on all of this. Do you enjoy Grand Seiko's product descriptions, their inspiration descriptions? What do you think of this 62GS case, this beautiful texturized dial, the movement, the high beat movement, or the bracelet? Are you a Grand Seiko fan? Or if you're not, what has kept you from this Japanese brand? I'd be curious to hear your responses below. If you are shopping any Seiko, any Grand Seiko, I've placed links below to exquisite timepieces. I've borrowed watches from them for years, and I've bought personal watches from them for years now. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I post videos like this every few days, and I would love to continue to grow and develop as a channel. Your support means everything. Thank you.